am Chloe Sepulveda, and I am a part of iLanguage Talk. And today we have
Céline.
And I'm Ali.
Hey, so I come from France, and I'm here for the semester in exchange program. I study abroad, and my major is management, and I play rugby.
Okay, I'm Ali. I studied in France twice, once in high school and once in college. And I'm an RA here at Western. My major is, double major, philosophy and international studies with a double minor in leadership and film studies.
That is amazing. You guys got some pretty cool facts. That's awesome. Well, today we're just going to pretty much talk about your study abroad and kind of like the differences and versus and like how you guys can kind of like compare each other and like how your experiences were. So I have a question. I guess I'm going to start with the crazy one. What was your first impression when you got to America or went to France? Was it what you were expecting?
Everything was big, so I was expecting to that. But the thing is, like, it takes time to realize that I really lived here, like, for 6 months. At the beginning, I was like, I remember myself in Waffle House the first time. I was like, I really live here now. It was like, is it what I mean, like in the movies?
Yeah, I made it to Waffle House.
Yeah, I think for me, the biggest thing was that everything was so old. Like, you know, like, oh yeah, like that building was built like 50 years ago. That's so old. But they have things that were built like 350 years ago, and that was just insane. And like getting off the plane, like in Paris and everything, it was just like you have like old, like basically you felt like you were walking into like a movie. Like a movie set where it's like how like a nice building. You know exactly what we're talking about. It's like the super old building, like the roundish top and everything. You're like, oh yeah, like you're just expecting some like accordion jazz to start playing. Basically, it's like Paris is pretty much what you think it's gonna be, and I think that was really, really cool. So,
what is your favorite food in America, and then when you went to France?
So here I would say the milkshakes, I think, because we have milkshakes in France, but different.
Yeah.
Here, like, they're really good.
What's your favorite flavor of milkshake? Vanilla, chocolate, or we have that raspberry shake here too.
I don't like raspberry, but my favorite is Nutella.
Nutella.
Yeah.
I love Nutella. What about you? What's your favorite?
So I really like bread. It's delicious, and like it's so much better in France because it's like always fresh. So love the baguettes, the pain au chocolat, which are like what we would call chocolate croissants. Basically the coffee as well. So just because everything, and also the fresh fruit, like it's so much better. It's basically strawberries are so sweet like candy, so are cherries, and it just like basically when you go and you eat like French like fruit, it's like basically like you're eating candy and like you've never eaten fruit before.
Oh
like,
my goodness, I would cry. Yeah. When you came to each of the countries, what are some slang words that like you were, because both of you guys know the language. Yes. So when you came here, like what are some slang words that you learned that like you didn't know? Like, cause you know you learned the textbook version. So what's the real world take?
The first slang it comes in mind is yo.
Yeah.
I know not everybody here like say it, but yo, it was like I never heard that before. And also I didn't know you say though each sentence.
Yeah.
Not each sentence, but whatever.
Yeah.
And also like in the text messages it's like El now.
Yeah, like the text, the text
now. And at the beginning I didn't know what it was, but now I know.
Yes, that's good.
So like my story is like a little bit more different because I learned French in France, so I was like accustomed to hearing slang like all the time, and so it was really interesting like having that experience of like learning how to speak the language and stuff, and then coming back and taking classes for it like in college and everything, where I'm like, oh, you can't actually like get rid of the na in front of like what you're saying, even though you don't really say it. And then like there's a form of slang that's like where you take like the endings and put it at the front.
Yeah.
Like it's like, what is it?
The
Like Zagbi, like that.
We put the end of the word at the beginning, like we say the word like upside down. It's just
it's interesting. So like for femme, which means like woman, you do the like the muff and like the neck.
Yeah.
A bunch of other kinds of stuff, and it's like for me, it didn't like register as slang. It's just like, oh yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, because you learned it.
Yeah.
But the slang is the most difficult part to have when you speak a language.
Yeah.
Because it's really something, I don't know, you learn talking with people, so it's very difficult to have it.
Do you feel like your English has like gotten better?
Yeah,
since
I think so. I think so.
Yes, that's good. How did the study abroad process work for you, and how did that work out?
So my business school in France has different possibilities to study abroad, and I really want to learn English before to go into professional life. So I really want to go in America, and then my school has several partnerships with some universities, and then I make like 5 choices, and then I've been selected to be here. So
Yes,
yeah.
awesome. In the mountains, good old
Yes,
Halloween.
again.
Yes.
For me, so it was more like where can I go during the summer, because like I said, double major, double minor. Like where can I go in the summer to get my student language classes? And so I went with like an outside company called ISEP. And so I went, they organized everything for me, and I just kind of ended up at Université Savoie-Mont Blanc, so like basically like mountains, like almost like the Swiss Alps, Geneva kind of place.
Yeah.
And it was really, really nice, and just kind of, the program worked for me, the people were wonderful. It wasn't super difficult, but mostly because I was just really internally driven to actually make it happen and make it work.
That's
So.
awesome. How do you feel the workload? Is it any different, or like the student life?
No, I think the student life is like kind of the same. The thing is, in France, most of the time we don't have big campuses. Like students live in the city and go to the university in bus or tramway or whatever. So it's not that we don't have campus life, but the student life is quite the same.
Yeah, because we had like people from our summer program who like organized like special outings and stuff. But like in France, even like in high school and in college, like there's not really organizations, clubs, kind of anything like that. Like you might have an association where like your people in your major, or like you have a group of friends, like a study group. But everything else is not really like. Imagine like people, like foreigners always look for that college experience, because that's something that there's like, it doesn't actually exist, and people think it's only in movies because that's what they only know. Like you're like stuff like that. Yeah. But I just think, and I took summer classes, so I didn't really have homework. But when I was in high school, like in studying there, we definitely had a lot more homework. But I can't really attest to like the workload itself. I just know it's really complicated, in that like it's just taken more seriously than we take it here. So
I agree.
That is awesome. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
And then, can you teach me how to say goodbye, or if you guys do any special?
So if you speak to someone like formally, you say au revoir. But if you say goodbye to friends, you say salut.